Who said summer had to end on Labor Day? I'm meteorologist Joe Martucci, and this episode of On the Road, it is local summer September. We're here in Strathmere talking to Captain Bill Handley all about the month that is September here in South Jersey. Enjoy the sunshine and the warm weather. We're here on a bright September day here in Strathmere. Join with me is Captain Bill Handley with Upper Township Beach Patrol. Captain, thanks for being here today. We appreciate it. All right, so first question for you is, when you think September and local summer, what comes to your mind?
Well, Joe, I am a local, so I'm going to have an optimistic view of it, and I'm going to say that I see a beautiful sunny day, nice waves, and less crowds.
That's right, and it's noticeable you said less crowds, because what is actually the decrease in crowds that you see during the weekends after Labor Day as opposed to a July or August weekend?
Well, you know, a lot of people get wrapped up with their kids are back at school. They might have sports activities, soccer games to go to. They've got, family to get caught up with. So it takes a really dedicated person to square away that September weekend to get down here and enjoy the beach.
And well, I'll say you put the words that I was going to say, because when we were talking before, you said only the most dedicated people come here during the month of September, and they get rewarded pretty nicely, right? Tell us what the water conditions are like during the month of September typically, and of course the weather too.
Well, right now the water temperature is still holding in the 70s. The last couple of weekends we've had some decent weekends and nice sunny weather. One of the advantages is that there are less people, so there's less traffic coming down. There's more parking spots and a little more room to have fun on the beach. So it's a win-win situation.
And what kind of mix of people are you seeing during the month of September? Are we talking about mostly people like us locals, or is it still the people who are coming from Pennsylvania or the northern half of the state into Strathmere?
So I said it would be dedicated beachgoers, so there's a mix of people. I mean, majority are locals because it's just so easy for us to come out here and enjoy the beaches. But we get people that come from a distance that are dedicated to being on the beach, and they want to make the most of the September weekends. Of course, there's also people that realize that the rental rates are a little lower during September, so they might take advantage of that.
Save some money, and of course, the beaches here in Strathmere are free all year round, so you can come down and save a couple of bucks as well. We're talking about water temperatures. You said we're in the 70s, and we're doing this in mid-September. When do you notice that people start to shy away from going to the beach because the water temperatures are too cold? I'm just strictly talking about water temperatures.
Well, I would say you have to factor in the air temperature too, because right now the water temperature is in the 70s, but you can tell it's a little windy, a little chilly. So that 70s might not be as comfortable as the 70s on a hot July day. Once the water temperature gets into the 60s and the air temperature's in the 60s, I think only the diehards go in the ocean. But there's still beautiful beaches to sit at and enjoy.
You're obviously a diehard. When is the latest we'll find Captain Bill hanging out at the beach casually during the fall months?
All right, so you won't find me that late. That's because in the fall I like to go into fishing. And there's a lot of good fishing in the area, so I'll be out in the water fishing in December for striper. But I would be out on the beach well into November if I was not out an avid fisherman.
And you're also at Middle Township. You teach a class over there as well with some of the students, kind of incorporating local summer, because obviously the kids are here. They might be lifeguarding or they might be working on the beach, but you're helping to extend that season out for them and teach them a little bit as well. So could you talk to us about that program that you're doing in Middle Township?
Well, many people might not be aware of it, but the Assembly right now has got a bill that they're trying to pass in which all schools are going to be required to do water safety education. And I teach at Middle Township. I think we're getting ahead of the curve. We realize there's a need. And the farther west you go from the Barrier Islands, you get a percentage of kids that just aren't familiar with the ocean and the currents. And right now I've got a class of 24 passionate ocean-savvy kids that are learning about the ocean, and their goal is to be able to take that knowledge and be able to spread it out to other kids in our district, and maybe perhaps as we get bigger outside of our district to get that information out. Once the local summer starts, a lot of times there's not lifeguards on the beach, so the locals have to become the lifeguards.
Awesome. And just to let everybody know, when are you typically opened until during the month of September in terms of guarded beaches?
Here in Upper Township, we guard the 2 weekends after September. It varies from community to community, but generally that's pretty much when you expect lifeguards, in 2 weeks into September, and then after that, the public has to swim at their own risk.
All right, Captain Bill, the local summer wizard, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.